This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore. Hey, stick around to the end of this video for an offer from today's sponsor, portion of today's video, Uplift Standing Desk. We just put one into the podcast studio, and they are fantastic, and there's a great offer. So stick around. Before that, though, let's talk about Donald Trump being broke. And I laugh because, any misfortune that befalls a fascist who tried to end democracy in America, it's a good thing. It makes me happy. I will delight in his failure because of the fact that he has damaged America immeasurably. But I want to talk about it seriously from the perspective of Donald Trump is right now desperate. He can't get the money together, even though, and I've got videos of him claiming he's worth so much more than even his financial documents that he put together. I've submitted all these paperwork to the court or to the banks, and I'm worth way more than that. He's just admitting to fraud, ultimately. But because he's so desperate, he can't come up with the money now. We're learning he has like a week left to file for the appeal, or he just has to come up with the money. And if he doesn't, they can go after his assets and seize his buildings, Trump Tower, for instance. But the serious element of this is that it's a security risk to have someone running for president, someone who wants to be president. Let's say that he wins and becomes president of the United States. It is an absolute security risk, a national security risk, to have someone who is so vulnerable financially. When you're in the military or you get a security clearance, even into government, if you have bad credit or you have financial problems, you can't get a sensitive security clearance because you're a risk. And that's what we face with Donald Trump, the man who wants to be president once again. The Republican Party is like rallying around him. We'll start here with this tweet from Mark Levin. Why are there no Republican multi-billionaires offering to lend President Trump the funds to file his appeal in this outrageous case in New York State? Are none of them liquid enough to help or join with others to help? This is an outrage. Whines and snivels, Mark Levin. He's calling into question the wealth of actual billionaires. Are they not liquid enough? Donald Trump's not liquid enough, you goober. But let's go to some clips of, first, Donald Trump's lawyer, Alina Haba, claiming, we're going to appeal. We have 30 days to appeal. We're going to appeal. And when asked, does he have the money? Oh, yeah. He's rich. He's real rich. Of course he has the money to post the bond, to post the amount of the judgment. Here's her first on Fox News, then we'll go to Newsmax. Both these clips are about 30 seconds apiece.
No, I would never get into anything privileged, but I can tell you what the rules are. And within 30 days, even if we choose to appeal this, which we will, we have to post the bond, which is the full amount and some, and we will be prepared to do that.
But how much is the bond?
Well, you have to break it up. So there were obviously individual defendants that got fined. There was the company that got fined. But you're looking at roughly, let's call it close to $400 million for something that he did nothing wrong. Look, it's no coincidence, and I'll say it. They know by looking at his statements of financial condition that this guy is worth a lot of money, billions and billions of dollars. And that didn't even include his brand, Martha. But what they're trying to do between my last case, is put him out of business. It's not going to work, number one. Number two, what they're doing is a scare tactic. Unfortunately, they picked the wrong guy to pick on, in my opinion, because he's strong, he's resilient, and he happens to have a lot of cash. Now, that's
said with authority, said with confidence that Donald Trump has the money, right? Here she is, a little bit more timid in her answer. You tell me what you think about how confident she is about him having the cash. Oh, he's a billionaire. We all know that.
My goodness. So Judge Engoron says that he wants this $350 million within 30 days. Now, I know that you're planning on appealing this, but you've still got to put up the full amount pending that appeal. Does Donald Trump have that kind of money sitting around?
Yes. I mean, he does. Of course, he has money. You know, he's a billionaire. We know that.
Of course he has cash money. Yeah, of course he's a billionaire. We all know that. That's not an answer that inspires confidence. And look, we don't have to just look at what Alina Haba has said. Donald Trump, stepping outside the courtroom on multiple occasions, has said as much. He has the money. He's worth way more than he's even admitted to. Because we all know with Donald Trump demurring about his wealth and his grandiosity is something he always does. He doesn't come right out and brag about it. Right. He's totally low key about all these things. It makes total sense that he would say that he's worth less in financial documents than is the case. Watch this first one, and then we got another one that's a banger.
This is a continuation of the single greatest witch hunt of all time. We have a rogue judge who rules that properties are worth a tiny fraction, 1/100th, a tiny fraction of what they actually are. We have a racist attorney general who's a horror show, who ran on the basis that she was going to get Trump before she even knew anything about me. She used this to run for governor. She failed in her attempt to run for governor. She had virtually no polling. She came back and she said, well, now I'll go back to get Trump again. And this is what we have. It's a scam. It's a sham. Just so you know, my financial statements are phenomenal. They are actually less in terms of the numbers used than the actual net worth. The actual net worth is substantially more.
It's a scam. It's a sham. It's a sham. Idiot. It is remarkable that this is a guy who claims to be worth $10,000 million. He has claimed to be worth $10 billion, which is $10,000 million, and he can't come up with 500. Here he is in another one, even worse. In this one, he's talking about how he's actually worth substantially more than his financial documents claim him or claim that he is, which would be maybe more than 10 billion, maybe 20 billion, and he can't come up with 500 million. Watch this one.
My financial documents are valued much less than my actual value, which nobody even knows. But the financial documents that I gave to the bank are much less than my actual net worth. So therefore, I gave them to the bank. They can't be a fraud because I gave them lower numbers. I'm probably one of the only people ever to seek a loan. I didn't even need the loan because you see the kind of cash I have. I didn't even need loans.
He didn't even need loans because of so much cash. That's how much cash he had. He didn't even need them. He did the banks a favor by taking out a loan. Who believes this? What Republicans could possibly believe this? Look this man in the eye and think, yeah, that's our guy. That's the man I want to lead the United States of America. I mean, there's a sucker born every minute, to be sure. But now let's look at this article from the Daily Beast, just very briefly here. Here's the headline. No one will give Trump a $464 million bond, lawyers say. The former president's lawyers told the appeals court they've approached 30 surety companies through 4 separate brokers. Donald Trump simultaneously claims he's much wealthier than a court says, but too broke to halt the judgment that threatens to take away those very riches. In a court filing written with glaring irony, Donald Trump's lawyers on Monday revealed that the real estate tycoon has failed to secure the gigantic $500 million bond required to temporarily halt New York Attorney General from seizing properties after he lost a bank fraud trial. The deadline clock is now ticking, with only a week left until AG Letitia James can ask a judge for permission to start grabbing Trump's Monopoly Board portfolio. The former president has until Sunday, March 24th, this Sunday, to obtain what amounts to a massive loan with a surety company, guaranteeing to the court that Trump will pay his financial penalty if he ultimately loses the case on appeal. Last paragraph here. In a court filing, defense lawyers claimed that they'd been turned away by about 30 surety companies through 4 separate brokers. Meanwhile, an executive at a company that claims to be the largest privately held insurance brokerage firm in the world informed the court that obtaining the bond is not possible under the circumstances presented. That means Donald Trump is broke. Donald Trump does not have what it takes financially to even put up part so a company will cover the rest, like a bond. Like if you have a cousin who gets arrested and needs to post bail, you go down to the bail bondsman and you give him 10%. If it's a $5,000 bond, you put up $500, they guarantee it. And if you skip out on court, they chase you down and bring you to jail and get their money. It's similar. It's not a criminal case here, but let me tell you, it is, going back to how I started, a massive security risk to have Donald Trump anywhere near power. We've already been shown by him and his team how he deals with national security secrets and top secret documents, and he could absolutely profit off of the information that he has rattling around in his empty brain about military secrets, U.S. intelligence data, and that's a problem. He's vulnerable to being blackmailed. He is vulnerable to being pressured to do things that are against the interest of the United States. And it's no more clear than it ever has been today. What do you think? I would love to know. You can call, leave me a brief voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can always email me, as always, daily@dollemore.com. We can mix it up in the comments. That would be great. If you want to help support this work, keep the lights on, and help produce what we do here, click the join button below this video, become a channel member for $2 a month, or you can go over to my Patreon page, patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. I'm on social media everywhere at Dollemore. I'd love to see you there. And stick around for a very brief word with a great offer from today's sponsor, Uplift Standing Desks. For so many of us these days, we're doing what many of us do. They're sitting there in front of a screen all day, hunched over a keyboard and a mouse, legs pretzeled on top of our chair. You know what I mean. It is time to improve your body and your brain, elevate the quality of your work and your health with an Uplift desk. With my Uplift standing desk, I now spend large parts of the day on my feet like I am right now, which helps me focus and stay productive. I also feel way more alert now that I'm consistently promoting better circulation. Uplift desks are super stable and easy to switch between sitting and standing configurations during the workday. And with over 100 desktop styles and tons of accessories, including 4 free with every desk purchase, you can seamlessly integrate any Uplift desk into any environment. Give your health and your work a boost. Go to upliftdesk.com/Dollemore and use code Dollemore at checkout to get 5% off and also uplift your wellness and your productivity. You will feel more energetic and more efficient by moving around more. And with over 6,000 reviews on Google and counting, I'm not the only one repping these excellent desks. Even the New York Times is on board with Uplift Desk being Wirecutter's standing desk pick for the last 5 years running. And with a 15-year warranty, free shipping, and free returns with free return shipping, how can you not try one out? Head to upliftdesk.com/Dollemore or just click the link below to score 5% off of your next purchase when you use code Dollemore at checkout. Work better, live healthier with Uplift Desk.